Great. So as you know, the topic of this session is what is the role of Lean Six Sigma in today's AI-driven world? And specifically, as a professional, we are going to focus on how it is important for the individuals like us, for all the working professionals, how this Lean Six Sigma is important in this age of AI and how we are going to take the advantage of this, how we are going to leverage that. So in the entire part we are going to see. Main topic is we are going to talk about how the top professionals across the multiple industries solve problems, what is their mindset, what is the methodology they are going to use so that they will stay relevant. Whatever the technological transformation or the changes are going to happen across their or around their periphery, it's not going to impact them. Or in other words, I can say they are going to take the advantage of it and they're going to take the next level, right? So it's not about to take or to have the fear about the technological advancement that is happening around us, but how we can leverage that technology. So the top professional exactly are exactly doing that, and they grow consistently across every industry. So it's not typically limited to the manufacturing industry. It's relevant to each and every kind of industry. So I must say that it's related to the healthcare, automobile, ancillary. Of course, the manufacturing will be always there, but we can also talk about the service industries, IT, BPO, even aerospace industry. Everywhere this is relevant. This will be the 90-minute session, and the focus will be more on to give you the clarity on these two parts. It will be 100% live, as you can see, and it will be the practical because I'm also going to explain what are the various angles, what are the various questions that might become or that should become in every working professional in the world of AI. And this webinar doesn't, this session doesn't assume anything. Like you must have some kind of knowledge about the Lean Six Sigma or some kind of knowledge about the AI. No, we don't require any prerequisite. The intent of this session is to give you the more clarity about these topics. Okay, so before to start and go into the more detail, let's understand what is the career uh, things. What are the things related to our career are getting changed? What is the career reality in the world of AI? The first thing, AI is very good. It is our helping hand. It is going to help us to automate our tasks. So instead of focusing on the repetitive task, we can take the help of AI tools and we can automate those tasks, and we can focus on the real work, which is creativity. That is only for the human beings, right? Only for us. So we can focus on creativity and we can automate the repetitive task. AI is also going to accelerate execution. Let's say, for example, if you're going for any problem solving methodology by using some approach, so AI tools is going to help you in that process to make it more faster, effective. At the same time, it will be more effective. So we're also going to say that, see that how the AI is going to help in that. And the third part, from the decision making, AI is going to help us to make the decision based on data instead of having the opinions. So what is the benefit of that? We are going to understand the real life situation as it is instead of having some assumptions about it or having sometimes the overthinking about that particular situation. When we have the data, we are going to make the right decisions. So if I want to say in one sentence, in the world of AI, your job is not at all at risk. Whatever the task that you are going to do, that will be always there. It is not going to be replaced, but you must have the problem solving ability. If you are just working like a some robo, right? So it can be replaced, then obviously your job will be at risk. But if you have the great problem solving ability, then you will be taking the advantage of the AI tools and you will reach to a next level. So how you will do that, that we are going to see, we are going to discuss in very detail into this session. But before that, let me show you what is going to happen into the career growth. See, as a professional, everyone talks about they want higher salary rise, right? They want the salary rise every single year, and that to be significant. They want like every year promotions. That means every year they want to get to their next level. And there is also urge like everyone wants to be the part of leadership and they want to lead their entire team, entire organization from front. But believe me, this is a this is the result. This is a byproduct of some certain process. So what we need to do, we need to work on certain processes. We need to develop some things, and thereby you will get this automatically, right? So the problem is like the people are going to focus on that, and after chasing that on, I can say, the year and year, they will get to know that, okay, this is only the byproduct they are chasing, and this is not controllable. You cannot control whatever the salary you will get, your promotions, as well as the decision-making position into the organization. It will not come automatically. Now, let me tell you what is the process for which this is a byproduct. The process is called as a complete process of transformation that I am going to explain. So you need to control, you need to improve the axis in terms of Lean Six Sigma language. I'm going to talk to you. If you're going to work on axis, Y will automatically get improved. So what is a byproduct, right? What do we talk about? The salary rise, the promotions and leadership roles, how they will get to you. So we need to work on three important things. If you work on that three important things, this will automatically you will get. So what are these three things? The first, as I have already told to you, this is your problem solving ability. Irrespective of what is your role, in which organization you're going to be work, irrespective of what type of industry you're working, it doesn't matter. The first and most important thing is required. You must have the extensive problem solving ability. That means any kind of problem, if it is coming in front of you, you must have that ability to solve that problem by using structured approach. How to do that, we will talk about it later, but just make a note of this. You must have extensive problem solving ability. Second, you must be upgraded. So whatever is going to happen around you, you should not be like that, okay, AI is not relevant to me, or whatever is going to happen into the machine learning and technological transformation, it's not required that I should be upgraded with that because it's not related to my roles, responsibilities, and job. It is not like that. If you want to be remain relevant in the world of artificial intelligence, machine learning, industry 4.0, big data, whatever thing that you are going to be listen, you must be upgrade your knowledge, your skills with this technological advancement. So I can say you must be aware about what is the use of AI into your roles and responsibilities. And the third one, which is again very important, is what is your ability to deal with the people. Because as a human being, we are, and if you're going to work in organization, we need to deal with all the levels. We need to deal with your operators, your temporary or your contract employees. We need to deal with our colleagues. We need to deal with the managers, senior managers. We need to deal with the suppliers, customers, right? And also sometimes the top management and leadership team. So it's not like that we can have the same kind of expression, same kind of deliverability in front of everyone, because every person is different. So in that case, you must be able to understand what the other people are going to talk and what are their emotions. At the same time, you must be very good at understanding your emotions, because you're only going to understand other people if you understand yourself very well. So we are going to talk, we are also going to work on this part. So this is called as emotional intelligence part. So if I want to summarize this first slide, so what we need to do, if we want excellent salary rise, we want promotions, and we want to be the part of leadership team, this is a byproduct of some process. You need to go through some process. That process is going to help you to understand how we can enhance our problem solving ability as a number one skill. Then how we are going to upgrade ourselves with the technological advancement that is going to happen around us. And third, how we are going to improve our emotional intelligence, our EQ, emotional quotient, so that we are not just able to understand what are our emotions, how to channelize them in the correct way, but at the same time, we are also going to understand the other people's emotions. So this is the important. We need to go through some process of transformation. We must work on these X's, so you will get automatic these Y's. So this is the summary of the entire slide. So what is this process of transformation? So I work on this more than 16 years now on this to understand what is a mechanism that we can create so that when we or any person is going through that process, they will see there is a significant transformation into their entire life. So I'm not just going to talk about their one particular growth, because As a part of this process, we are going to talk about the consistent growth of everyone who is going to join this process. And that's why in every 90 days, we are going to work on this. We are going to take one problem, right? And we are going to see how we are going to solve this problem in the structured and effective manner, live in front of you. We are also going to talk about how we are going to use the different AI tools on that so that our implementation must be faster, smarter, and effective. And of course, we are also going to talk about the people who are very good at the leadership roles. So how they are getting enhanced their emotional intelligence. So this is the process of transformation, right? Is it clear up to this point? Just type S into the chat box so that I can go to the next slide. Great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Now let's talk about what is a real life situation. If we talk about the professionals, what they're experiencing today. So I'm not going to talk about the only 5% people who consistently upgrade themselves in terms of their knowledge, their problem solving abilities, their people management skills, their technologies and everything. But the 95% people, they really need some kind of triggers. Unless and until they see that kind of trigger, they're not going to act on that. The trigger can be like, they can see that everyone is going ahead in terms of their career, right? Their colleagues are well ahead with respect to them in terms of their salaries, in terms of their positions. So if they feel this kind of triggers, then they realize, okay, okay, now I need to work on this, right? So don't wait for those triggers. As a working professional, as a proactive working professionals, what we need to do, we need to act proactively. And for that reason, I created this entire program. Now, coming back to the point, what are most professionals are experiencing today? Like earlier it was like if you have the very good knowledge of particular subject matter, that's it, right? You will be fixed there and you will see that your value is very good. But in the world of AI, you can see the information is available very easily, right? You can get all kinds of information everywhere. Of course, that is not a replacement of your subject matter expertise, but you need to be upgraded. Some professionals, you can see, many professionals, you can see they are working hard. It's not like that they're lazy. They're putting a lot of efforts into their work, but still they are invisible. Nobody's going to notice them. They are firefighting daily issues, the same issues they are going to solve on day-to-day basis, right? So this is not going to help them into the growth, because if you're going to do the same thing again and again, how the results would be different. So we need to change your attitude, your mindset, your process towards approaching to these issues. So how we can do that we are going to discuss. Decision driven by opinions instead of the structured problem solving approach like the database decision making. So instead of that, they rely on the opinions. Slow or uncertain career growth. People, it's not like that you are into the industry, you are very good into your subject matter expertise. Of course, you will get their certain kind of growth. But look at the world, where the world is going, where your colleagues are growing, and what is the speed with which you are growing. So the people are having the slow or uncertain career growth. So that is with the maximum people, I can say. Fear of becoming irrelevant. So this was very true for me as well. I think 2.5 years back, when the AI is getting into this field, I was really worried about, okay, I invested more than 15 years into this subject matter expertise. I put all my everything, my experiences, my efforts, my money, everything into this learning this program and become the master into that. Now the AI is coming and everywhere, everything is like easily available. So I was also have that fear, I think 2.5 years back, like I'm now becoming irrelevant. But when I started using these AI tools, then I will come to know that, I got to come to know that this is simply my helping hand. So it's not like that I am becoming irrelevant, but it increases my energy, or I can say my value many folds. So it is like I'm feeling AI is my additional two hands that is going to help me to do my entire task most effectively, practical, and fast. Right? So if you want to remove this fear of becoming irrelevant, simply you need to take the actions, right? You need to learn these tools, you need to be apply these tools into day-to-day life, so the fear of AI will automatically go. And instead of having that fear, you will have the fun, right? It's like the playing the cricket or playing the video games. So that kind of enjoyment fun you will be have once you understand how to use these AI tools. Of course, I'm always saying that, see, AI tool is not a copy paste tools. If you're going to see any AI tool, they are going to help you to make your work much better. So you will be getting some output from all the AI tools, but this quality of this output is directly proportional to the quality of input. If you're going to provide the very good quality of input to it, then you can see after the end of the cycling, you will get a very good output from that. And that output can be so perfect that you can use directly wherever you want. But as I'm saying, the quality of output is directly proportional to the quality of input. And to have that expertise to provide the quality of input to the AI, you must be very good at your subject matter expertise. For example, if I want to use the AI tools for the Lean Six Sigma application, I must say that I must be very good at the Lean Six Sigma, understanding its concept, understanding its approach, understanding its practical implementation. Then and then only I'm going to use the AI tools to get my work much faster, right? So this is not a replacement of your core knowledge. As I'm saying, root cause is not a lack of efforts. It's a lack of structured thinking. So we need to work on three important angles. As I already said to you, I'm going to tell you that we need to work on our problem solving. We need to equip ourselves. We need to upgrade ourselves with a technology like artificial intelligence. And we also need to lead with confidence by development of our emotional intelligence. So these are the three things we need to focus. If you can recall the first slide, let me take you to the first slide, right? We talk about we must be very good at the problem solving. We must be equipped with the technological upgradation, and we must be very good at the people management. And if you want to work on this, I can simply say that how we can get that, right? If you want to master problem solving, Lean Six Sigma is the best tool because that is entirely based on data. All the AI tools that are extensively using the Lean Six Sigma tools. Even you can talk about the artificial intelligence, all AI tools, machine learning, big data. Even if you talk about the AR, VR, if you're going to talk about the machine learning, right? And all these things are based on the data. They are going to process and they are becoming better and better by processing certain kind of data. And if you want to be very good at the data, the only approach that is going to help you to master into it is the Lean Six Sigma. So please use this approach so that you can have extensive problem solving ability. If you are going to see any kind of problem in front of you, instead of having the fear for that problem, you will be have certain kind of joy for that, because instead of looking at that problem as a problem, you will look that problem as an opportunity. So I got an opportunity to prove myself. I got an opportunity to use certain tools on that. I got an opportunity to use my expertise to solve this problem permanently. So simply that is going to help you to not only to, I can say, they become irreplaceable, but how we can lead your industry with clarity and confidence. So this is going to help you. The second, of course, you need to be very good at the application of AI, but it's not a replacement of your core tools, right? So you need to be very good at the Lean Six Sigma, your problem solving ability, then you can use the AI to take it to the next level. You can do the entire task, which is taking like the weeks and months to do. You can do that in minutes and hours. So that's the power of AI. And of course, we also need to talk about the emotional quotient. I will go for each of these points in very detail. I will explain you what is a Lean, what is a Six Sigma, how we are going to use the Lean Six Sigma together, and how it is relevant to all the industries, how we can use the AI tools for that. And we are also going to talk about the emotional intelligence in very detail, right? So this is an introduction about this. So if I want to summarize this slide as well, like just don't be master of your core skills, right? Yeah, definitely it will help you to, I can say, the sustain setup for a certain period. But if you want to grow consistently, it is having some limit. If you want to grow like anything, if you want to grow like exponentially, you need to be think outside of the box. You just not focus on the core tools. We also need to focus on the technological advancement and how we can be very good at the people management. Okay, so I will come to that point in very detail. Before to start this detailing of what is a Lean and Six Sigma and how it is getting used in real life, let me sum up the data, right? So you will get a better clarity on that. Please look at this slide, these details. If you consider Fortune 100 companies in the world, 82%, just look at the numbers. Just look at the numbers. 82% of top 100 larger companies in the US and across the world, I can say, they are using Lean and Six Sigma for their profitability, to manage their operations, to remove their losses, to improve the employee engagement, to improve the safety and all those, right? So whatever the KPIs or whatever the goals all these organizations are having, they're using Lean Six Sigma for it. What is the figure that I said? In Fortune 100 companies, it is 82%. If you consider the Fortune 500 companies across the globe, 53% of the organizations are using the Lean Six Sigma for their daily operations to improve the profitability and all those. If you consider the Global 2000, right? 70% of Global 2000 manufacturing and other industries are using the Lean Six Sigma. You can see how significantly this approach is used across the industries. Now, these are the values that I'm going to say you for the organization who are going to use these approaches publicly, officially, right? If you're going to see, please look at this. While 53% of the Fortune 500 officially run these programs, the number is likely higher in practice because many companies use these tools, but they didn't declare that officially, right? So you can see, this is the significance. This is the, I can say, the area that in which the Lean Six Sigma is getting utilized. Now let's talk about the industry type wise, right? So manufacturing, if you consider manufacturing, 85 to 95% industries across the world are using Lean Six Sigma for their operations. Lean Six Sigma, combination of both, 85 to 95%. So this is officially, but I can say almost 100% companies are using the Lean Six Sigma. Healthcare, 40 to 55%. Finance and banking, 35 to 50%. Supply chain logistics, 60 to 75%. And if you talk about the government, military, 30 to 40%. There are other types of industries also. We can say here it is not mentioned, but we can talk about the banking industry. They are almost using the 60 to 70%. Almost all the bankings are using for that as well. You can also talk about the service industries, the same percentage, around 50 to 60%. But the thing is, like, it's not limited to certain kind of industry. Every industry is getting going to use it. If you just compare these numbers with the 2010, you can see it was mainly related to the manufacturing only. And the exploration has just started into the healthcare and other industries. But nowadays, you can see how much significant difference is there. Actually, I can say if you are going to Google it after the end of this session, you can see what is the biggest industry which is using the Lean Six Sigma today is the healthcare. Actually, it is overtaking manufacturing as well, if you are going to see the 2025. So that much transformation is going to happen into the Lean Six Sigma. Now, if we talk about the valuation perspective, so okay, maybe these are the, you can say it's a recent numbers, but I want to see how it's going to happen up to 2030. Okay, so today's the Lean Six Sigma, you can say it's irrelevant, but what is the going trend for this? If you're going to see the 2030, how it is going to grow, right? So just look at this market value. Today, it's like, or if you can say the end of 2023, it was $1.6 billion dollars USD, and it is projected to reach 4.3 billion. So you can say almost 5 times it's going to be grow in 2030. So that is the value of this. It's consistently growing. If you're going to see some of the examples, great leaders in the world, you can talk about the Amazon, General Electric. I'm just going to talk about the different industries: Ford, DuPont, Wipro, Bank of America, HDFC Bank, Cummins, Honeywell, earlier it was Allied Signal. So all these organizations. So list is, you can say, I'm going to say the 82% in top 100, and if you're going to consider the 2000, 70%. So the list is very big. I just taken some different names so that belongs to the different industry, and you can relate that. So you can apply that everywhere. Okay. So after understanding of this, what is the scope and growth for the Lean Six Sigma? Now let's talk about what's in it for me, right? Because I want to know that from my growth perspective. or from my organization growth perspective, how this Lean Six Sigma is going to help me, right? So let's talk about first for the organization. Why organization is always looking for the Lean Six Sigma candidates. Even if you can see all the JDs, job descriptions, or anything that you are going to see related to the production, the quality, logistic, or supply chain, everywhere you will see there is a one word which is fixed. They want Lean Six Sigma expertise, right? Now, if you consider from the organization perspective, what they want to improve their business processes. They want to see all their processes must be very good. They should have the minimum waste. They should be like anything, right? So they can have the predictability. If I want to use the one word here, they must know how their business processes are predictive. Employee satisfaction, because ultimately this is a driver for organization. Improve bottom line, to improve the profitability by removing unnecessary things from the organization. The Lean Six Sigma is going to help them. Customer satisfaction by removing the structured problem solving approach to remove customer complaints and to avoid them in the future as well. Better partnerships, because the everyone is just going to make a partnership with the person or with the organization who are really having the clarity and predictability. If it is missing, nobody wants to join with them, right? So the organization is only getting help when they are having the very good predictability, quality, and service for their organizations. Reduce risk and eliminate errors, and to ensure compliances as well. So in all those perspective, Lean Six Sigma is going to help the organizations. Now, the most important part is let's talk about our individuals, right? How it is going to help me as an individual. The first and most important thing is you will not just relevant to particular kind of industry. I can give you the practical example of mine because I work almost 14 years into the different industries, and all these industries belong to the different type. Like I work with the auto ancillary, I work with the manufacturing, I work with the personal care, I work with the consumer electricals, and I also work with the GKN aerospace industry. So all the industries are different. Their processes, their products, everything is totally different. But everywhere I lead the continuous improvement, process improvement into all the organizations because I was master into this, right? So if you want to become relevant, if you want to become the relevant to all kinds of industry, you must be very good at the problem solving approach, and along with that other two that I explained on the slide number 1 and 2. So the thing is, you will become valuable in every industry. It is going to boost your self-confidence because it is directly proportional to your problem solving ability. If you can solve any kind of problem that is coming in front of you, by using some systematic approach, simply it is going to help you to boost your self-confidence. It is going to improve your thinking capabilities because you're not look problem as a problem, you're thinking that problem as an opportunity. And you got that opportunity to prove yourself, to help organization to improve their profitability. And I can say the all other aspects as well. Career growth, as I said, that is the one of the most common points that is included in all the JDs. You must have the knowledge of Lean Six Sigma, right? See, I'm going to talk about the knowledge, not certification. Certification and knowledge, these are the two different things, right? I will come to that point as well. It will also improve your intrinsic value because when you are going to use the Lean Six Sigma, this is the team focused approach. You need to work with a team. And by the time you are going to work with your team, it's like your emotional intelligence is also going to improve to a certain level. Of course, we are having the mechanism to take it to the next level as well, but this and only Lean Six Sigma training is also going to help you to improve your intrinsic value. Rise to managerial positions because now you can understand how the organization works, right? How to identify the problems or bottlenecks into your organization, how to solve any kind of problem into your organization, whether it's related to your team, whether it's related to your operations, or whether it's related to the external internal factors. You can handle all those. And organization is having the belief in you because you are having that expertise, like organization can rely on you. So it's not like that you will be promoted because it's like you gain it. You put that all efforts into growth of yourself, and organization clearly see that, yes, this is a person that can help organization to grow. So they will automatically offer you the promotions. You need not to ask it. It's not based on the experience. It is based on your talent or your caliber that you acquire. It is also going to help to nurture your leadership abilities, and that's the core values actually. I'm personally looking for my all community members must lead all the organization in which they are going to be work from front, right? And that's why I'm glad to know that when my community members are growing to the levels like GMs, VPs, and site director, plant manager, and they give me a call, it is the happiest moment for me. So this program is also going to help you to nurture your leadership ability. And of course, the most our interest is excellent salary. But when you're getting the salary after you're proving something, you're getting your got benefit, your organization got benefit, and after that, you will be getting a salary rise. That will be the different satisfaction level you will have. Instead of just getting the revisions and salary rise based on like 3%, 5%, something like that. If you really gain like 20%, 25%, 30%, something like that, by doing some extra work, that will be different satisfaction, right? So if I want to summarize this slide, this program is beneficial to all, not for only organization, but every single individual. Now, when I'm talking about the professionals, see, it is not for certain kind of level. It's not like the low level, middle level, manage or higher level or senior level or the management level. It is for all levels. The simple thing is like, if you want to grow exponentially, if you want to reduce the time, let's say, for example, if you're the part of middle management, or if you're the part of the, I can say the shop floor management, right? So how we can take to the next level, right? To shorten that period, this Lean Six Sigma program, along with the other two important things, that's going to help you, right? So that's the summary of this. Now, let me go into the more detail of this. So what we'll do, until this point, I just talk about what is the importance of this Lean Six Sigma in the world of AI and the emotional intelligence as well. Now, I will be explaining you Lean to certain level, some of the concepts into that. Then I will explain about the Six Sigma. Then we'll talk about the artificial intelligence along with this Lean Six Sigma. And then we'll talk about the emotional intelligence, why it is important. And after that, I will take all your questions. And with that, we will be in our today's session. Okay. So that is the flow that we are going to follow. Now let's talk about what is a lean, right? Let me give you the simplest example, simplest definition of the lean. Lean is having the 5 principles, right? If you understood this approach is a really, I can say the beautiful approach, right? So if you're going to understand it and if you execute that into the real life, you will see the different kind of satisfaction when you're going to execute this. Because when you're going to use this approach, you're simply going to kill or eliminate the problem that you will be suffering from maybe last weeks or months or something like that. So this is having the 5 core principles. I will explain that in detail. But let's talk about what is a lean. If I want to explain that in one sentence, you can see here, let's say without lean, my process will be like this. The upper half, my process will be like this. So I need to do the multiple tasks. I need to do the rework. I need to do the unnecessary movements. I need to do the multiple things. And at the end of it, what I will get, that will not up to the mark that I will expecting, right? So the process will be like that. And of course, by having so much of time, so much of efforts, at the end of it, I will also have the process or the result which is not up to the mark. But instead of that, if you're going to talk about the lean process, it's like very easy, right? You can predict the outcome of your process and you can also achieve the great results in lesser time, right? So this is a lean process. I can say it's a graphically, but let's talk about in terms of words. What is lean? Lean is elimination of anything. So we are going to eliminate. In certain extent, we can also use the word here as a reduction, but I can say the elimination is a very good word. Lean is the elimination of anything not absolutely required to deliver a quality product, service, or information on time to our customers. So anything that is not required to the customer, if you are going to eliminate that from our processes, this is lean, right? So this is a simple and lean definition of the lean, right? So what is the focus? Main focus is like we are going to remove the waste from our processes. Now let me talk about how this approach is going to be work. We are also going to see some of the important concepts on the upcoming slides about the lean. that will help you to start your execution of the lean immediately after the end of the session, right? So you will get some value. They can start execution of this. You can see the knowledge only that you are going to put in application mode. You can see it's a learn and apply. If only that knowledge will remain with you. If you just learn a lot of things, hundreds of things, but if you didn't apply that, you're not going to learn anything. It's like swimming. Whatever the books you are going to learn on say, swimming, or if you read on that, if you read the thousands of books on swimming, but if you don't enter into the water, you're not going to learn how to swim, right? So this is exactly relevant to the Lean Six Sigma as well. Whatever the concepts, whatever the time you are going to invest into the Lean Six Sigma learning, it is worthless unless and until you are going to use that, right? So that's why we are also going to talk about how to learn this Lean Six Sigma approach to its deepest, its fullest thing, like its width and depth, as well as how we can put your knowledge consistently in application, of course, along with my lifetime mentoring support. That is also I'm going to talk to you. Now, coming back to the point, let's talk about this 5 core principles of Lean. The first core principle of Lean is the identify who is your customer, for whom you are going to be work, and what is important to them. In other words, it can be called as for which customer is going to pay us. So we need to identify that. It is called as a value in terms of Lean methodology. So what is a value? Value is anything for which customer is going to pay us. Simple thing. If you want to explain that in more detail, we can say we need to identify who is your customer. Now, in many cases, it can be your external customer and it can be your internal customers, right? So depending on the scope of your Lean implementation, we can say it can be either internal or external. But thing is like for which or for whom you are going to be work, that will be our customer. We need to identify who is our customer first, and second, what is important to them. So what is important to them is called as a value, right? It is defined by the customer. You cannot define your value. The value will be defined by your customers, right? So it can be like the quality of the product, timely delivery of your product or services. It can be the price. It can be the all other expectations for which customer is going to pay you. That all called as a value, right? Now, once you know who is your customer, what is important to them, that's a first core principle of Lean. Second, now we need to identify, to create this value, we need to work on certain kind of raw material, we need to work on some kind of processes, we need to work on some services, and then you will get this as a value. So we need to identify through how many stages, how many operations, how many stations our product or service needs to go, and that is called as a value stream. As name indicates, value stream, how this value flows, right? So that we need to identify into the step number 2. It identifies all the actions that take our product, service, or information through any processes to identify every step that does not create value. So when you are going to create this value stream, we are also going to mark the stations, process steps where we can simply see there is a waste. We are not going to create anything for which customer is going to pay us. And it's a waste actually, right? Waste of efforts, waste of money and anything. We are going to mark all those stations. These stations are called as non-value added activities, non-value added stations, right? So we need to work on this in the third step. But here, identify all those stations and then find ways to eliminate those wasteful steps. So how to eliminate that? So for that purpose, various Lean Six Sigma, various Lean tools we are going to be used, right? Like we are going to use the spaghetti diagram, we are going to use the value stream mapping, we are using the all other things as a part of that value stream mapping as well, right? I will explain some of them in the subsequent slides. Okay, so once we identify what is the important to who is customer, what is important to them, and how this value flows into your organization, then we need to create a smooth flow by eliminating all those wasteful activities. To ensure the remaining steps flow smoothly with no interruptions, no delays, no bottlenecks, so that we can have the 100% predictability into our processes. Then in fourth step, what we need to do? We need to work on our habits. So we need to respond to customer pull. So only we need to produce or only we need to process when there is a demand from the customer. We need not to process in advance, right? With improved flow, there will be an improvement in time to market or time to customer. So thereby, there is also the reduction in timeline when you are going to work on certain thing and we will be getting the payment for this, right? Ultimately, it is also going to improve the profitability of the organization. Product don't need to be built in advance. So once you are going to work on this 1, 2, 3, and 4 core values, we will reach to certain level. But if we will not continue this, then again, everything is getting collapsed and it will going back to zero, right? And that's exactly going to happen with human beings as well. I have seen almost more than 90% of people are undergone for the Lean Six Sigma training, right? They are going to close the one project, right? They got certified, but what's going to happen after certification? There is no platform, there is no forum where they can consistently, they will ensure consistently their learning, and they will also make sure that their knowledge will always practice. There is no mentor that is available to them for all the time, right? So to avoid that problem, what we need to do, we need to pursue perfection. So how we can do that? To make the lean thinking and process improvement as a part of daily life. It's not a static process. It's not a destination. Like you complete your training, you got certified, you implemented lean and you master into the lean. It's not like that. Always there is a next level and we need to go through this cycle multiple times. If you really want to become the master into that, if you really want to get the profitability, if you really want to get the real results, if you really want to reach to the lean process, this cycle needs to be implemented multiple times, right? So this is also true for ourselves. If you want to really become the master into the Lean Six Sigma, you need to go through this entire application of the Lean Six Sigma multiple times, right? So this is about pursue perfection. So I think I covered a lot of things here. Up to this point, is everything clear to you? Just use the chat box. Please take examples to explain is better to understand. Okay. I will explain with some examples as well. Or in Q&A session, we will talk more in detail on that. Okay. So if you have any questions, just to make a note of this, and I will continue this session. I will till the time I'm going to answer all your questions, right? So please don't worry about this. Okay. So I need to be somewhat, need to speed up. Let's come to here. Okay. Now, what does the lean do? When we implement the lean, what are the benefits? What are the things that organization will be getting? Like there will be the first impact that organizations can see on the inventory. There is a reduction in inventory. So the blockage money will be outcome out, right? So it will be directly impacting organizations to use that money for their growth, right? Or for multiple places. It increases in productivity, reduces lead time, improves on-time delivery, increases sales, improve quality, and increase capacity as well, because we will be doing more in less, right? So thereby also your capacity is also going to be increased. So there are all these benefits you will get with the lean. Now let me talk some concepts, right? If you're going to talk about the lean implementation, the three concepts, types of times that will plays a crucial role. So what is this 3 times? These are called as a takt time, lead time, and cycle time, right? I'm always trying to explain with the help of examples, so you will have a better clarity and understanding of the concepts. And you need not to memorize it, right? Instead of memorizing, you will understood that and you will use that for your entire life. So I'm going to tell you these 3 cycle times, these 3 times in a lean that you will not forget for your entire life, right? So let's take an example. What is a takt time? Takt time is a rate of work in order to meet the customer demand. What must be the speed of your process to meet the customer demand, right? How to calculate that? Let's take this example. So this is the burger, I can say the restaurant where the burger is getting cooked. And the speed of this is like there are some customers who visit there. They want 6 burgers, right? So they want 6 burgers in an hour. Customer order is 6 burgers per hour. So how to calculate takt time for this? The formula for the takt time is available time divided by demand, right? So what's the available time here is per hour. So 60 minutes, how much demand they have? 6 burgers. So they need a 6 burgers in a 60 minutes. So they have they need a one burger in every 10 minutes, something like that, right? So this is called as a takt time. You need to finish one burger in every 10 minutes to meet the customer demand. If you are taking the 11 minutes, what's going to happen? We'll be missing one order. If you will be having like the lesser time, that will be better. But to meet the customer demand, we must have at least 10 minutes per burger, right? So this is called as a takt time, the rate of work in order to meet the customer demand. Now let's talk about lead time. What is lead time? Lead time is that simply difference between when you receive the customer order and you delivered it. It is the start and end point of the process. Okay, so let's say, for example, the customer placed an order at 10:00 and he got delivery at 10:13. So what will be the lead time here? Lead time will be the order delivered minus order received. So it will be 10:13 minus 10. So the total 30 minutes. Customer received burger in 30 minutes after placing an order. Now, once we understood this takt time and lead time, let's talk about our processes. Is our processes capable to meet the customer demand or not? For that purpose, we also need to talk about the cycle time. What is the cycle time? Time it takes to finish one product. Okay, so let's say, for example, cook made total 5 burgers in 1 hour. That is our cycle time. So what is the cycle time? Cycle time is net production time divided by number of units produced. So the net production time here is 60 minutes and how many burgers are got produced? 5. So 12 minutes per burger. This is our cycle time, right? Now if you want to compare all these 3 times, right? So let's compare these 3 so you'll get a clarity on that. If you compare these 3 times, cycle time, takt time and lead time, right? Mainly talk about these 2, right? Takt time and cycle time. Now, just for instance, let's imagine if you have the both are same, takt time and cycle time both are 10 minutes, then as an expert, or maybe I can say that as a individual, what you can say? Is it a good situation? Do we need to improve something? Or is it okay? Just use the chat box. If you don't know, just put the don't know. I will explain that in detail. Okay. Let me explain. See, when we have the cycle time is equal to takt time, it is okay, but it is not, I can say, the recommended. Why? Because if cycle time is 10 minutes, but something is going to happen in your processes, right? Maybe the downtime or something like that, you're not going to meet your customer demand, right? So if the situation is like this, if you have the cycle time is more than takt time, simply it is not good. Because with the cycle time more, you're not going to meet the customer demand. You can say your cycle time is 12 minutes. So only you can supply 5 burgers in an hour, but the takt time is 6 burgers. So you will be losing the 1 order every hour. That's going to happen with this. But if your cycle time is less than, let's say, for example, 8 minutes, even if there is a downtime of 2 minutes, then still you are going to meet your customer demand. So please make sure that when you're going to work on your processes, when you're going for your lean implementation, you must know the first thing is about what is your takt time, and against that, what is your cycle time. The difference between these two indicates how much effort that we need to implement, how much effort that we need to put into the lean implementation. Okay, and this also creates an urgency. Now let's talk about one more important concept that is very closely, I can say, almost used on daily basis into the lean, which is MUDA. There are 8 types of waste, and that is indicated by the acronym downtime. Downtime, right? So downtime is simply indicating of something is not working. Waste is any expense or effort that is expended, but which does not transform raw material into an atom the customer is willing to pay for. So all these are called as a waste. So there are 8 types of waste as suggested by the downtime, acronym downtime. D stands for defects, O stands for overproduction, W stands for waiting, N stands for non-utilized talent, T stands for transportation, I stands for inventory, M stands for motion and E stands for extra processing. Sometimes it is also called as over processing, but you can use the word extra processing. It's better to remember with the acronym downtime. Now, let me explain in one liner what is the each of these losses is going to be indicate. Muda, it is efforts caused by rework, scrap, and incorrect information. Overproduction is you are going to produce more than required or before it is needed. If you are going to produce it before it is needed, it is also called as overproduction. Waiting is like wasting time waiting for something, right? So it might be the waiting for the product, waiting for the operator, we are waiting for the machine to get processed. All these are called as a waiting loss. Non-utilized talent, underutilizing people's talent, knowledge, and skill. This is also the waste. Unnecessary movement of product or material is a transportation waste. Inventory is excess products and materials being produced, that is inventory. Motion is about unnecessary movement of the people like walking. So there is a small difference between transportation and motion. Both are the unnecessary movement. But transportation talks about the unnecessary movement of the product and material, whereas motion talks about the unnecessary movement of the people. So these both are the waste. And the last part is about the extra processing. So here you are going to put the more efforts that creating the more quality product, which is not required for the customer, right? Let's say, for example, customer is want like the surface finish, which is just good. It should not be have the holes into like that. It should be very clean. That's only customer requirement. But instead of that, if you are going to work to make that as a mirror finish, it is a simply waste of efforts, energy, and money. So that is called as extra processing. So these are the two important concepts I can say we can see into the lean. Now let's go to the Six Sigma. Okay, let me explain in short about the Six Sigma as well. The first thing starts with the Six Sigma, right? The first question that must be coming in your mind, right? If you really want to learn about the Lean Six Sigma, why we are talking about Six Sigma, not 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? Why Six Sigma, right? So that's an interesting thing here that we must know. Six Sigma is the level that is getting as a, or I can say the most optimized level. Like you're going to put some efforts and in return that you will be getting some benefits. So Six Sigma is the most optimized level, and that's why all the organization must target for this. As I said, it's a most optimized position or the label. It is also not easy. We need to put a lot of efforts on that, and we need to take the series of efforts. Only after that you are going to reach to a certain level. That's called as a Six Sigma level. Now, what is this Sigma? Sigma is the Greek letter, right? This Sigma. I talk about the six. Now let's talk about the Sigma. Sigma is a Greek letter used to describe variability in the process. It is also called as standard deviation in statistical terms. Now, what is the standard deviation and variability? Let's look at this image. If you can just talk about the metabolic rate for male and female, just take a look at this image and tell me in which metabolic rate for the female or male, the variation is more. Just put into the chat box. What do you think? In which of these metabolic rate there is a more variation? Of course, for the male, right? Because we can see the distance or the variation, the readings with respect to the center are very high if you are going to see, if you are going to compare with the female. So this is an indicator of standard deviation. Thank you, Mahesh. Thank you for your reply. I really appreciate that. The standard deviation is a measure of how far the observation in a sample deviates from the mean. How to calculate that? I will not cover this because this is somewhat, we need to take the multiple examples and then only you will get to know that. So might be you can see that into the training. So this is a formula that we can use for the calculation of standard deviation. This sigma, when we are going to talk about the quality level, this is also called as sigma capability. I will show you with the help of some demonstration how the sigma capability is relevant to our process performance. Sigma capability measures the capability of the process to produce defect-free output. So when we talk about like my process is at 3 sigma level, my process is 4 sigma level. So what that sigma level talks about? Sigma level talks about what is your capability of the process to have the quality product. If the more sigma level, your quality of the product will be more. If a sigma level is low, your quality of the product will be low. Now, there is one more important myth about this defect. Defect is not only a product defect. Defect is anything that creates your customer dissatisfaction. Right? So please remember this. This is a very important sentence. Six Sigma works on the process improvement. It works on the defect reduction. But what is a defect? Defect is anything that results in customer dissatisfaction. Okay, it's not related to product. Sorry, it can be related to your services, anything that you are going to be supplied to your customer. Okay, now if you want to see that graphically, right? So this looks like this. If you consider that like this as your customer specification, like you will be having some upper specification limit and you will be having some lower specification limit. And conversely, we are going to say that if anything is going out of that, it's called as a defective or it's called as a not good product. It's not a good quality product, right? This is called as a defective product or defective services. Now, if you're going to compare that with how our process delivers it, right? So if you're, let's say for example, there is some upper specification limit and lower specification limit you got for certain your product. And when you're going to see like the same characteristics for which you got this customer specification, how your process is going to produce that. So if you're going to plot that data, this is called as process output, process variation. If you're going to compare that and if you got to know that your process variation is more than your customer specification, this is really horrible situation. That means you will be sending the defective products to your customer, right? So to check what is your capability in terms of Six Sigma, what we are going to do, we are going to calculate certain metrics. I will not go into like how to calculate these metrics because of the time limit. I will just explain you what is the indication of this, right? So if you're having the process output, like so much of your observations or readings are going out of the specification limits, this is an indicating that your CP is very, very low. And yield is indicating that you will only have 30.85% of the product as a good product. So around, I can say 69.15% of your products will be defective. If you're having so much of variation into your process. So what is the thing? If you want to work on your Sigma level, if you want to work on that, if you want to improve your process capability, if you want to improve the yield of your process, what we need to do? Simply, we need to reduce the variation, right? So if you're going to work on this, you can see how this is going to impacting, how this is going to result into increase in your Sigma capability. If you are reducing your variation in such a lower that your entire process is going to operate at the center and having the very minimal variation, that is called as a Sigma level 6. At this point of time, your process capability will be 2 and your process will be yield will be 99.97%. That means only you will get 3.4 parts as a defective in 1 million parts, right? That is a Six Sigma level. But as I said, it's not easy. You need to take the series of, the efforts, we need to put the series of efforts into that. Only after that, you will reach to these positions. Now, the interesting question is, okay, this is good, but if you want to see in real life, which type of industry operate at what level, right? So that also we will discuss. But before that, let me tell you, there is a slight change in philosophy that is already happened. So before I can say the 2000 or around that, the thing is like that, this is our lower specification limit, this is our upper specification limit. And if you're going to provide anything between these two, it's called as a quality product, right? So this is called as conformance to specification. But this is also called as a goalpost mentality. This is the old philosophy of quality. So what is a new philosophy of quality? New philosophy of quality talks about, let's say this is your LSL, this is your upper specification limit, and this is the target which is given by your customer. So you must produce always at the center. By the time you are going to go away, the area under the curve indicates the loss. So you can say the loss is going to be increased here. As you're going away from the target to the upper specification limit or from target to lower specification limit, the loss is going to be increased. And that increases exponentially as soon as you're going to cross this LSL and USL, right? So this is a very important thing, and this is also called as the new philosophy of quality, right? How to calculate this loss? So this is the Taguchi loss function is getting used for that. I will explain that in detail once we come the part of once you are going to join this program. But before that, I think I missed one slide. Let me check whether it has got hidden. Let me see. Oh no, it's ahead. Okay. Sorry for the confusion. Let me share the screen. Okay, let me. Now there's one question. What's AI tools and uses in the concept? Yeah, I'll come to that point. Okay, so just give me. There are 2 more slides on this, and then I will come to this point. Okay. Now the thing is here, why we need to produce at the center, and it's not acceptable that we will be moving from this, right? So just let me ask you this simple question. Okay, just look at this image. This is the plane A, and there is a pilot A into this plane, and this is the runway. The dots you can see on the runway, this is the landing points, right? So you can see the specifications are met into this, and every single time the pilot A of this plane A has landed on the runway. Can you see that? This is a runway, and every time he landed within the specification limits, right? The specifications are met, I can say in this example. Now there is another plane with a pilot B. Now this time the plane B with a pilot B is going to land every single time at the center of this, right? At the target value. Now please tell me, if you got an opportunity to select, either you can fly with a plane A or plane B, which plane you will select? Just put into the chat box. You will select the plane B, pilot B. Why? Because it is operating at the center. And nowadays, every customer is also looking for the same. Every customer wants, like, their suppliers must be operating at the always center. And if there is they can say there is a more variation, they're simply just going to see the alternative for that, right? So it's not only for the maintaining the quality, but for the survival, organization must be using the Lean Six Sigma, right? And as the organization is going to use it, it is also going to increase the value manifold for the employees as well, right? Producing to a target value means we need to be change our habits. Please look at your process and see how they are going to be used, right? How they are going to be work. Yes, so this was a slide. I think I moved that to the latter part. So if you are going to compare our industries, right? So most type of industries are operating between 3 sigma to 4 sigma, right? This is between this. Once you talk about the restaurant bills, doctor prescription, payroll processing, wire transfers, all these are come into this. But if you are going to consider, there are certain industries like the airline industries. For these industries, we cannot say that 3 or the 6 sigma level is good. For that purpose, we are going to talk about the 7 sigma level. So I must say that all the airline industries are operating at 7 sigma and above. Why it is important? Because every single failure will be resulting into the fatality. So if there is the chance like non-performance of your product or services is getting impacted or getting resulted into the fatality, right? Your 6 sigma level is not acceptable for those, right? They also need to talk about the 7 sigma, 8 sigma and above that, right? So it is very important. Now, let's talk about the approach that is getting used into the 6 sigma, Lean Six Sigma. The traditional approach, like we have the practical problem and we are sitting together, and after the end of the meeting, we have a solution, but we need to execute. So that's a traditional approach. But what is the change that's going to happen into the Lean Six Sigma, in which we are going to use the project-based approach? We are going to have the clear definition of the problem, and we are going to convert this practical problem into statistical problem. So we are going to use the Lean Six Sigma tools for that, like the process mapping, the graphical tools, and thereby we are going to convert this practical problem in terms of numbers. That is called as a statistical problem. Then we are going to use the power of statistical tools to solve this statistical problem. So we know what is a statistical solution. And at the end of it, we are going to convert this statistical solution into practical solution. So this is the approach we are going to be used into the entire Lean Six Sigma. Now, what is the thing between this? With the traditional thinking, like we will be focusing on firefighting, right? Creating the work instructions and reminding the people and something like that. But with Lean Six Sigma, we'll be focusing on structured problem solving. Traditional thinking talks about the opinions, sit together and conclude and take a decision, whereas Lean Six Sigma talks about the data-based approach. Traditional thinking, you will be busy for the entire day, but you don't know what is the result that you got. But in Lean Six Sigma, it is a focused, effective, and practical. In traditional thinking, it will be reactive. Only you are going to work, or only you are going to think about the solution if there is a problem. But in Lean Six Sigma, it's a proactive. Traditional thinking talks about the invisibility. You don't have the clarity, but with Lean Six Sigma, you know visibility. You must predict what is the performance of your processes or products. You will develop a trust, right? So with Lean Six Sigma, your customer will be happy, right? Because they know your process will be operating at the very good level. As your organization, if you are the Lean Six Sigma certified, organization will be also happy because they know if you are going for this program, then that means you have developed already certain kind of credibility, right? So it is about that visibility and trust. Traditional thinking, you will be confused which product or which part or which problem I need to work and how to work. With Lean Six Sigma, you will be having that clarity and confidence. So Lean Six Sigma creates predictability and trust, right? At both the levels, organizational levels as well as individual levels. Now, as I said, the DMAIC approach that we are mainly going to use into this Lean Six Sigma, where we are going to define what is our practical problem. This practical problem is getting used, getting converted into numbers. That's we can call it as a statistical problem. We are going to use the statistical tools for that to identify solution, do the root cause analysis by using the 5 tools and all those to identify what is the root cause. And on those root causes, we are going to identify which is a solution and we are going to take the actions on that. Once we do that, once we implement the solution, we are also going to check what is the effectiveness of that solution and how the solution is going to be lifelong. At the end of it, it's not like that we just implement solution, we check it is working or not, and that's it. No. We also need to develop a system, thereby this solution will be always in place and it will be also ensure there is a continuous improvement into that, right? So there are various tools also we are going to use here as statistical process control plan, right? That also we are going to see. As a part of control, we are also going to talk about what are the replication opportunities. That means we implemented this approach into one area, we got the problem, we got the solution for the problem, we got the results. Now, can we copy paste these actions into the multiple areas which are similar like this? So instead of using the entire approach again and to identify what is the results, can we replicate as it is action plan onto the other areas or not? So that also we can develop or we can also identify as a part of this. Now, these are the many tools we are going to use. So this is only the few tools, fraction of tools that we can use or we can learn into the entire Lean Six Sigma. Now, if you are going to talk about we implemented the Lean Six Sigma, then what are the deliverables for this, right? So the first thing from the organization perspective, it increases profit, it decreases cost, it also helps organization to improve their efficiency, improve their effectiveness, and to develop effective people and teams so that they can run the profitable business. So these are the entire deliverables of the Lean Six Sigma project. Now, I talk about more about the Lean and Six Sigma both concepts, that because of the time constraint, I need to cover that. So what we can do, let's talk about why there is a need to use the Lean Six Sigma together, right? So this slide is going to mention everything. We talk about there is a 5 core principles of the Lean and there are 5-step approach into the Six Sigma, which is define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. And if you're going to work this together, we will be having the benefits of both. Let's summarize this. whatever the discussion we had onto this session, these two important concepts. See, lean focuses on maximizing the process velocity by reduction of waste, whereas Six Sigma focuses on defect reduction. Cost reduction is happen with the reduction in work in process and resource in lean, whereas cost reduction happen due to the defect reduction in Six Sigma. Six Sigma mainly focus on the process, whereas lean focuses in between the process also. What is going to happen? If I want to say one word for lean, it improves speed of your processes. If I want to use the one word for Six Sigma, we can say it improves quality of your processes. Nobody wants only speed and nobody also wants only quality. We need both. So if you are going to combine this lean and Six Sigma together, we will have speed and quality both. And thereby, we will achieve the lowest cost for our products, services, that is ultimately getting resulted into ultimate or high profitability, directly impacting the bottom line for the industries. The byproduct is you will be also getting the higher salaries and all those. Okay, so this is about the lean and Six Sigma. Now let's talk about the interesting part is here, like why it works in every industry. There might be some questions like, okay, I've seen the application into the manufacturing, like to reduce the product defects, reduces the lead time, and work on the overall equipment effectiveness to improve that. But what is the other application? So I must say that for the IT, it's like how we can reduce the bugs, rework, and missed deliveries. Service industries like delays and complaints. Banking, it will be like mainly you can see the errors and compliance gaps. Healthcare, waiting time, variation, customer complaints. HR talks about the hiring delays, attrition, right? And I can say low moral as well also come as a part of this HR. So where the Lean Six Sigma is getting applied, the one sentence I can say, if there is a process, Lean Six Sigma applies, and processes everywhere. All the industries are having the processes. So Lean Six Sigma is applicable everywhere. Let's talk about the AI part now. Okay. We talk about more on the problem solving part, where the Lean Six Sigma is going to help us to develop structured problem solving. If you come across any kind of problem in your roles and responsibilities, into your organization, into your department, your function, right, into your work area, you can solve that by using the Lean Six Sigma 100%. There is no doubt about it. But let's talk about how we can take the help of AI for that, right? So AI is going to help us for the faster data analysis. It will also help you to detect the pattern, and you can it also indicate you, okay, this is the time where you need to take the actions. It will help you for the better scenario evaluation. Might be you are not able to detect what is the problem, but AI can help you. Yes, this is a repetitive issue and you can work on that. And smarter documentation as well. So in my entire program, I'm going to work on this. I'm going to help you all, or my entire community members, how this Lean Six Sigma approach can be learned in the most deepest and effective manner. At the same time, how we can solve one problem in every 90 days by using this Lean Six Sigma approach on that, so that at the end of 90 days, they will be ready with solving the one critical problem into their roles, responsibilities, into their department, into their functions, and they will get certified. This is not an end. Once we start, we are going to start the next 90 days. Again, we are going to restart this process, right? So in every 90 days, I'm going to do that along with the use of AI tools. Of course, I'm going to help you to understand which AI tools which Lean Six Sigma tools you need to use, how to use them. I'm going to tell you that live. But in addition to that, how we can solve the same kind of problem and how we can take the help of AI, that also we are going to discuss every single week, right? So that we are going to see. The one thing is, please mark in your mind, AI is your force multiplier. Don't take it or don't see it as your competition. It is going to help you to increase, I can say exponentially, to develop exponentially. AI is a force multiplier, not a replacement. Just if you're not using the AI enough, that's simply indication that you have a lot of scope to improve your day-to-day activities and to improve your productivity as well, right? So please consider this. With the understanding of AI, now let's talk about the emotional intelligence, right? Why we need to work on the emotional intelligence. It's not like that I'm very good at the Lean Six Sigma and I'm very good at the use of AI tools and that's enough for my growth. Absolutely. These two will work definitely to certain level. Let's say, for example, if you're going to work up to the senior, I guess the middle management or somewhat level of higher management, that's very good. These two are going to work for you. But if you want to take a leadership roles, if you want to lead your industries, lead your team, lead your organization, then the one more and most important and critical skill that you must have is the emotional intelligence, right? So what is the emotional intelligence, how it matters? Let's see some of the facts. I always try to explain in terms of numbers, so it will communicate you or give you the clarity and about, I can say, the depth, how much this emotional intelligence plays a role into our life or into our career growth. Emotional intelligence explains up to 58% of job success, more than technical IQ in many roles. If I want to summarize or if I want to make it clear that if you're going to see that the leadership roles, then 85% of your success is depends on your EQ, emotional quotient, and 50% is depending on your IQ. As you go higher and higher into your hierarchy, into your organization, the role of IQ is getting replaced by EQ. 90% of top performers have high emotional intelligence skills. Employees with emotional intelligence, strong managers are 4x likely to leave. So if your manager, or if you can say there are leaders who are very good at the emotional intelligence, you can say their team members are not leaving. AI boosts team productivity up to 50%. And this is also a very important part in better stress management, collaboration, and to have a healthy life as well, right? So there are many benefits. I just explained some of them because of the time constraint. If you want to see that its implication into the Lean Six Sigma implementation, the skill is going to help you to lead your team, complete the project in timeline, change management, stakeholder buy-in, take the leadership roles, and to improve your or to ensure the continuous improvement in your projects as well. Please mark this note. Emotional intelligence is not a soft skill or nice to have a skill. It develops a true leader. It's a career multiplier. So that's why it's very important to work on this EI part. So what we have developed as a part of our program, we are also going to focus on one important characteristics of highly successful people, the people who are very good at the emotional intelligence. And I'm also going to talk with my community members how to develop this capability inside them every single week, right? So this is a very important part. Question is here now, okay, we talk about the Lean, Six Sigma, AI, and emotional intelligence as well. So how to integrate them effectively? So that's the question here, right? So for that purpose, what I have done, I have created a 90-day challenge in which into this 90-day challenge, we are going to learn the entire Lean Six Sigma approach from start to end, right? We are also going to see how the AI is getting deployed across this implementation. And every single week, we are also going to learn one important characteristics of highly successful people, how to develop that inside us, what are the sources with which we can take to the next level. And once we complete this 90-day challenge, again, we are going to start this process from zero, right? So all my community members have lifetime and unlimited access for all the upcoming 90-day challenge that's going to happen. What's the intent? As I said, it's not like that we just go through this process entire one time. You understood how Lean Six Sigma is going to be work. You solve one problem. You completed your project. You understood the emotional intelligence part as well. You use the AI tools as well. You got certified. Is it the end? Yes, you will get certified. You can end it, but you will not become a master into it. So what we need to do, again, need to go through these processes, right? So this process is going to repeat in every 90 days, right? So the one important thing, you need not to pay again, right? So once you become the part of this community, once you're going to join this, I can say the program or community, it will be lifetime access. All the upcoming 90 days challenges will be free. So what's the thing here? In every 90 days, we are going to take the one problem, right? So like we finalize the problem, like how we are going to improve the multi-departmental flow processes, right? So that is the challenge, or that's the project that we selected as a model project. In last 90-day challenge, we talk about how to reduce the defect percentage in production, right? Before that, we talk about how to improve the productivity, right? So every 90 days, there will be the new project that will be coming as a model project. And along with that, all our community members who are also going to take the 111 project. So we are going to make sure that we will not just learn it, you will apply it with value. And when you are going to learn and apply, then only it will become forever, right? Then it will ensure that you will be always growing into your career. So this is the integration of all these three: Lean Six Sigma, AI plus EI. It's a recurring process and of transformation, getting your new version in every 90 days. This is really for serious professionals, career-focused individuals, and those ready to implement. If you don't want to implement, if you just want to learn, this is not for you. This is for you only you want to learn and apply, right? This is not for the shortcut seeker. This is not only a certification program, right? So this is about this 90-day challenge. If you want to really know about it in more detail, right? So as I said before this session and communication as well, this is not a sales pitch. I'm not going to tell more about this program, but I just answer this question. If I am to integrate this all three together, how we can do that? So this is the platform. And we are consistently working on this, how to make it better and better. See, what's the logic here? See, Lean Six Sigma is not like what you learned in 10 years back or 2 years back. It's completely getting evolved. The tools that how we are going to use. The thing is, like, AI tools is also getting changed in every month. Like what I must say that when I was using the AI tools into my last 90-day challenge, it was our 16 90-day challenge. And before that 15 90-day challenge, I can see that the AI tools are evolved like anything. So if you just learn one time how to use the AI tools and you're saying that I'm the master into it, believe me, this is a myth. It is getting consistently evolved. And if you want to remain upgraded into that, what you need to do, you need to learn, you need to be the part of community where you will consistently learn it and upgrade it to the next level, right? In this 17 90-day challenge that we started last week, on 10th of January, we just have the launch and introduction session. And this week, I'm going to talk about the first thing, like how to start your learning from scratch, and how we are going to use the AI tools for that. Everything is going to be start from zero. So this is the best time, I can say, if you want to join this part. Of course, you can jump in at any point of time, because this is a consistent process. You're not losing anything. But the important point that I want to make a note of here is you need to be consistent into this process, and we are going to make sure with this mechanism. So please schedule a call with me by using this link, vijaysabe.co/session. And in that, I will explain the more detail about this program, its commercials and everything. Okay. Now it's time for your questions. Thank you so much for your patience from being start to end of the session. I really appreciate it. Because of the time constraint, I try to cover maximum what is possible into this 90 minutes. Okay, so it's hand over to you. Let me unmute to everyone, and then you can ask your questions.